Fossil fuels cannot sustain us forever. This is a fact that many scientists agree on, yet some people choose to ignore. In the past, renewable energy sources haven't been treated as a research priority, as perhaps they should be. The sun, in my opinion, is one of the most obvious sources of renewable energy, as it hits the Earth with almost 900 billion megajoules of energy per second. This energy can be harnessed through solar cells. You may have seen solar panels on the roofs of houses or other buildings. They are also used in solar power plants, which contribute to the energy used to power our cities. Solar cells turn sunlight into electrical energy through the photovoltaic effect. This is when a material can produce an electrical current or voltage when its electrons are excited by incident photons. The solar panels that you may have seen are made from crystalline silicon, or CSI. The electrons in the silicon-silicon bonds are liberated from their ground state and transition to an excited state called the conduction band. The electrons all flow in one direction, so an electrical current is generated. Carbon-carbon single bonds are stronger than silicon-silicon bonds, so organic solar cells can't work by simply exciting the electrons in the single bonds as silicon solar cells do. The polymers used in organic solar cells must have alternating single and double bonds, what is called a conjugated system, where electrons in the double bonds can dissociate across the backbone. One of the first polymers to be used in organic photovoltaics is MEH-PPV, which was developed in 1993. It can be produced by one of two different step growth or condensation polymerization reactions. MEH-PPV is still in common use today and can get an efficiency of 3%. P3HT is another polymer commonly used. It has a greater spectrum coverage than MEH-PPV, so it's become more of a standard to use. P3HT is synthesized by an electrochemical polymerization, which involves forming a radical cation from a 3-hexylthiophene monomer. A more high-performance polymer, which was more recently developed, is PCB-DTBT. This has an efficiency of 5.5% when alkane dithiol additives are incorporated. One final example is PCDTBT. This can achieve an efficiency of 6.1% when a titanium oxide layer is used. As you can see, all of these polymers have alternating single and double bonds, as discussed earlier, which causes them to be semiconductors. It's worth mentioning that although not technically being polymers, C60 fullerene derivatives have also been significant in organic photovoltaic technology. PCBM is a very important fullerene derivative in organic photovoltaics, as it is used as an acceptor in many organic solar cells. As I previously mentioned, we already have silicon-based solar cells. Why do we even need to think about other materials? Well, there are several problems with silicon-based solar cells, which using polymers can solve. For one, crystalline silicon is costly and complicated to manufacture. Additionally, silicon photovoltaics are heavy and rigid. Polymers can solve these problems because they can be tweaked or customized on the molecular level by material scientists to achieve precise desired properties. Such properties can make the organic solar cells easier to integrate into everyday life. One advantage that polymer photovoltaics have over traditional silicon-based ones is that polymers can be dissolved in an appropriate solvent and turned into an ink to be printed on transparent, lightweight, and flexible polymer surfaces. Transparent and semi-transparent organic solar cells are an exciting area of research. Such solar cells can be put in the windows, on the facades, or on the roofs of the buildings that they provide electricity for. The polymers in a typical organic solar cell are arranged in layers like this. The N-type and P-type layers are just general labels for the polymers and other materials used. Alternatively, the donor and acceptor materials can be mixed into one layer, called bulk heterojunction. This can work to maximize the photovoltage produced. The size of the photovoltage most significantly depends on the energy of the transition of the electrons from the highest occupied molecular orbital, or HOMO, of the donor material to the lowest unoccupied molecular orbital, or the LUMO, of the acceptor material. These terms may be new, but we can just consider these molecular orbitals to be the shells that the electrons jump between. Although polymer solar cells generate electricity by harnessing sunlight, it's not all sunshine and rainbows in the field of organic photovoltaics. One significant disadvantage right now is that organic solar cells just aren't as efficient as traditional ones. Silicon-based solar cells can have power conversion efficiencies of up to 33%. whereas the most efficient organic solar cells are only about 10 to 15% efficient. Organic photovoltaics are also prone to photochemical degradation. This is because the organic molecules react with water and oxygen in the air and are oxidized. This happens much faster when the polymers are exposed to UV light from the sun for a long time. Obviously, degrading over time due to exposure to sunlight is a very undesirable property for solar cells. This has been dealt with by materials scientists by developing polymers that are more resistant to oxidation, as well as introducing different physical structures to the solar cells. In summary, polymers could be the future of photovoltaics and change the game as we know it. Although they currently face significant problems, these are being worked on tirelessly by material scientists to work towards a brighter, more sustainable future. You made it to the end! I hope this video was somewhat interesting. I'll put links in the description if you want to know more about the photovoltaic effect or about molecular orbitals and what the HOMO and NUMO actually are. Thank you for watching!